I Love Mortgage Brokering, episode 35.
If you're prepared to take your mortgage business to the next level, there is only one place to go. I Love Mortgage Brokering with your host, Scott Peckford.
Hi, Broker Nation. I am thrilled to introduce our guest today. Hali Strandlund is from FisGuard. She's the chair of the upcoming Camp Mortgage Forum, and today is a special interview. We're going to chat about the conference, what's going to be happening at it, and sort of how all the effort that went into planning it. So how's it going today, Hali?
Really good, thanks. Blustery West Coast morning, but absolutely gorgeous.
Awesome. So before we get into sort of the conference questions, I just want to ask you a little bit about how you got into the mortgage business.
I was basically born into the business. My dad was licensed in 1968 as a mortgage broker and realtor in BC. My mom shortly thereafter in the early 70s. Basically, my brothers and I grew up around real estate and mortgage finance. Of course, I was working in the office from a very young age, but licensed at 19 in 1989.
So you were, as a kid, you were financing like lemonade stands and stuff?
Oh yeah, we used to actually have little garage sales on the street and sell our parents' records, etc., not knowing that our neighbors were buying them and our parents were buying them back.
That's hilarious.
Pretty funny.
They're actually just helping you learn the skill of business.
You got it.
Awesome. So the camp conference is coming up here pretty quick, and I thought I wanted to reach out to you and just find out sort of, because I don't really know exactly all the effort that goes into planning them. I wanted to hear about that. I also wanted to know about sort of who's going to be there and some of the highlights. So maybe just tell me about your role as the chair of the camp, the mortgage forum.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it because it's a lot more work that goes into this particular conference and any other association event for that matter. But the Camp Mortgage Forum is the largest mortgage event of the year nationally, and it's surprising how much we do as volunteers. The majority of the work happens by camp staff at the camp office. To be honest with you, they find the sponsors, they find the speakers, etc. They try and match up the needs of the delegates, the needs and wants of the sponsors. And believe me, it's a heck of a lot harder than I think the average member or person in the industry would know, because everybody has different wants and needs. And then from a perspective as the camp chair, it's really just kind of going, well, hey guys, let's rein ourselves in and go, the membership wants this. So I kind of report on behalf of the membership to camp staff about what I think would be important to the conference and to the industry as a whole. And then we have a host committee that's local. So in and around Montreal, there's the Quebec Broker Council that kind of gets local members interested, find out what they want to hear, and we do that across the country as the conference moves from year to year.
And so how many people typically attend one of the conferences?
Well, it depends on location, but we always expect between 1,000 and 1,100, maybe 1,200 in Montreal. Toronto is always the largest attendance, basically because of the majority of head offices are there, and the number speaks for themselves in Ontario. That's where more of the members are. So we're actually on track this year. We're just over 1,000 registered, and with early bird just ending and 3.5 weeks left to go, with just over 1,000. So we're on track for that. Vancouver was exceptional. We had just about 1,600 there a few years ago.
Oh, wow. And what percentage of that number is brokers? Because this is I Love Mortgage Brokering, although we do love our lenders too. But
absolutely. It's a good thing you asked, because I did look last night at the delegate profile from the 2013 conference in Toronto. So there's 52% were actual mortgage brokers, 30% were lenders, 6% were mortgage and title insurers, 4% were from technology. Then there was industry suppliers, appraisers, and education and government, et cetera, made up the balance piece.
And so the planning for this, how long ago did you start planning for it? And then another question I have is sort of how do you decide on speaker lineup or the actual format? So how does that play out?
Well, first off, dates are always chosen, a year in advance, more than a year in advance, because of these big conference centers. And really, it's difficult to choose the location. For example, Camp would love to go to Calgary, but they don't have a large enough conference center with hotels either attached or very, very close by, because it's always in November. And say you're in Calgary and it's a snowstorm, you really don't want to have people taxiing across town. So the locations are chosen a year or two in advance and then booked. We just booked next year in Toronto just a few weeks ago. So that was for the conference or for the location. Now, as far as speakers and sponsors are, depending on the sponsorship level, and there's a number of sponsorship levels that are available, starting from founder levels and governor levels down to director levels. Every one of them is, of course, costs a certain amount, and with that sponsorship becomes a certain amount of influence as far as what speakers would be appropriate for that sponsor. For example, Scotia sponsors a lunch every year, and we're very thankful for them. They do give us a couple names of people that they would like to see, and we have some input, not all the decision-making process, but we negotiate with Scotia and find one that's appropriate for our delegates and makes them happy as well. But it's a long process, and then you get into the panels, and we need to see who is interested. For example, the broker panel. Not everybody wants to sit up there and have questions to Skype to them or Twitter to them, and then we find out who we can mix up as far as the economists go. Do we want the same people all the time? Do we want to mix them up? This year we've got 3 really great ones. Warren Jesson from Scotiabank, Sebastian Lavoie from Laurentian, and Stefan Marion from National Bank. A little bit different than what we had last year, so we get different perspectives.
Mm-hmm. And so it's almost like the sponsors, their dollars are like votes, and they sort of have influence on how the delegates, or sort of how it all plays out.
Oh, I hate to say that, but there's definitely some influence.
Okay, yeah, I that's my words, not yours.
But like I said, we couldn't do this without their sponsorship dollars. So we want them to be happy with what we give them.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to make it win-win, right, for them and for everybody. So I totally get it. And so what are you most excited about? So in this, obviously you've got a lot of inside knowledge on how everything's going to play out. So what are you most excited about coming up?
Well, there's a couple things. I'm really excited about the Mortgage Industry Career Day, which is at the Expo. So we're allowing people that are not necessarily brokers yet or in the industry at all, could be just coming out of university, college, and interested in some sort of aspect of our industry. They're going to be able to attend the Expo at a significantly reduced rate. Of course, they have to go online, fill out a form first, bring their student card, but they're going to be able to come into the Expo, and I love that because we need to start building this business organically. We need to bring new people in. So I'm very excited about that. I'm also excited, of course, about the Hall of Fame night, which is going to be pretty spectacular, and the new Camp Awards of Excellence. So besides the Hall of Fame inductees, which I'm so proud to be one of those this year, it's pretty amazing at my age, they're also giving out 5 new awards, which is the Broker of the Year, A&P of the Year, Financial Literacy Leader of the Year, Mentor of the Year, and Innovator of the Year. So pretty cool new awards. I don't have anything to do with the process as far as the submissions, judging, etc. So I really couldn't tell you how that's going to work. It's the first time they've done them. But I'm excited to see it. I think people should be recognized. And any conference, any successful conference, really has 3 key components to it: education, inspiration, and recognition. We've got lots of education with killer speakers. I mean, I'll go over those in a moment. We're getting inspired even by some of the luncheon speakers, and recognition. We've got tons of networking events and a new awards night. So the 3 elements are covered. But what was really important to me this year was to go over these surveys, and I do encourage everyone that attends the conference to please complete these surveys as they're sent out. It tells us a lot. I've gone over every survey for the past 7 years of the conference and mortgage forum to find out what the important items were, and they haven't changed that much. And I do believe that we've covered the majority of the wants and needs of our members. We've got a killer technology session featuring Amber Mack. I'm not sure if you are familiar with her, but she was a journalist. She's done all sorts of crazy stuff. She's developed digital strategies for companies like Rogers, Microsoft, the Discovery Channel. She's awesome on stage, so I'm looking forward to her a lot. Then we have people like Eric Ryan, who's a branding guy, an innovator. He's fantastic. He's done things with Gap, Old Navy, Saturn. I'm trying to remember these off the top of my head. Jackie Juba, she's a customer loyalty expert. So she's going to be talking about how to retain our customers, how to find new customers. And she contributes to Forbes. She writes about consumer and customer loyalty, word-of-mouth marketing, their internal branding. She was also listed as one of the 10 most influential online marketers. She writes for New York Times, Business Week, Advertising Age, so she's pretty cool too. And then another one that I'm really looking forward to is a guy named Marc Ecko. And I wasn't sure at first when I saw the information about Marc, because he's kind of a fashion industry guru.
We could use more fashion in the mortgage business.
We could, and it's all men's fashion. So it's quite interesting. But really where his strength is about marketing and selling. And he has a company called Complex Media Network, which has, it's 110 plus websites that generate more than 700 page views and 700 million unique visitors per month on just these websites.
Wow.
This guy can market and sell anything. They started out in the fashion world, but where he's really coming into his own is marketing and selling. And the guy, excuse my language, he's a kick-ass. I can't wait to hear this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, those are great. And then we top it off with Malcolm Gladwell. I'm sure you've heard of him before.
Oh, yeah.
He had 5 New York Times bestsellers. He was listed at Times 100 most influential people. He's received an Order of Canada. This is a killer Canadian entrepreneur. He wrote The Tipping Point, Blink, Outlier Story, What the Dog Saw, and now he's just written David and Goliath, Underdogs, Misfits, and The Art of Battling Giants. This guy is an extraordinary speaker. So that's just our speaker lineup. Then we've got the 2 panels, the economic panel and a broker panel, which is always interesting, and you'll get a kick out of the gentleman on the broker panel this year. Dan Eisner, Ron Butler, Peter Matheny, and Matthew LeBrun. It could be some pretty interesting conversation.
There's definitely some various business model philosophies there from those guys, so it'll be interesting to see them dialogue back and forth and answer how they answer questions.
I think so too. It could be really cool, and I know them all from different points of the industry or for different reasons. But I'm looking forward to hearing that a lot. And next year in Toronto, I want to do a panel on the top guns, young top guns of the industry. But this year, I'm really looking forward to hearing Dan and Ron and Peter battle it out. It should be quite interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Snapshot. We didn't do Comedy Fest this year. We've done it for the past couple of years. We did find on the Monday night there were so many dinners and events that everybody wanted to attend that we went back to having Camp Fest, which is being held at the Club Soda nightclub. Has a really cool band called Nightclub, original, that has a dance troupe. And I've watched lots of videos on them, and they look like a lot of fun. So everything from 60s to current music. So it should be a little bit for everybody.
Nightclub. That's a great name for a band.
Yeah, I know.
So, and where can people register for this?
They can register at mortgageconference.ca. Early bird just ended, unfortunately, but you can definitely still register. And you can also use your Merrick's Points, MCAP, Street, First National, Equitable Bank, Radius. They'll all use or accept your reward points for registration as well.
Well, Hali, I really appreciate you taking the time to share. Did you, just out of curiosity, 2 things. One, congratulations on being inducted into the Hall of Fame. So good on you for that. And the second thing is all of those speaker lineups, did you do that from memory, or was that because if you did, that was ridiculous.
You know what? I've studied these guys, though. I mean, it's really important to me, even though I'm just a volunteer on this board as the chair. I want to be able to talk to everyone that I know about who these folks are. And I'm so excited about the lineup. I'm not just saying that because I'm the chair, but these are people that I'm going to be able to learn from. So yes, I do know a lot about them. A lot about them.
No, awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate your time. And anybody listening to this, they can also find links to the conference at ilovemortgagebrokering.com. And I think it's great to go and support the people like you that are putting this together and the other brokers and come back smarter and better. And that's kind of what the purpose of this podcast is too, is to help brokers be better. So getting together with your colleagues and learning is always going to be a good thing. Thanks, Hali.
All right. Take care.
If you are prepared to take your mortgage business to the next level, there is only one place to go. I Love Mortgage Brokering with your host, Scott Peckford.
Hey, Broker Nation, Scott Peckford here. Have you joined our VIP club for mortgage brokers yet? If not, you're missing out. We share exclusive content not available on the web or the show. We share scripts, step-by-step guides, and other insider tips to help you save time and make you more money. I can't tell you how many times after I turn off the recorder, a guest starts sharing some awesome advice or a script or a tip, and I take the best of this and share it with my VIPs. If you want to get on the list, visit ilovemortgagebrokering.com/VIP. That's ilovemortgagebrokering.com/VIP. Oh, and one other thing. Since this is exclusively for mortgage brokers, there is a skill testing question. Good luck, and I hope you continue to rock your mortgage biz.